Welcome to Merrill Auditorium in City Hall of Portland, Maine. For more than a century, it's been the home of one of America's great musical treasures, the Kotzschmar Organ. Hello, I'm Ray Cornils, Portland's 10th municipal organist. I'm sitting here at the console of the organ. It's like being in the middle of a jumbo jet cockpit with hundreds of controls all within easy reach. Even though it's the most visible part of the organ, by itself the console makes no sounds at all. All those pipes in the facade sure look impressive, but actually only 12 of them produce any sound. So where does all that sound come from? Hang on, you're about to find out.
And here we are, inside the Kotzschmar Organ, amongst a miniature forest of organ pipes. There are more than 7,100 pipes in this organ. Why so many? In order to create the hundreds of sounds the organ produces, we need thousands of pipes. Pipes of all different shapes, all different sizes, different composites. Some are metal, some are wood. They all work the same way. Wind. This is a wind instrument, and all pipes require air to produce sound.
Here we are backstage at Merrill Auditorium. 3 floors up from where we're standing right now is the air handling room. Pipe organs are the largest of the wind instruments. An organ the size of the Kotzschmar requires a great deal of lightly pressurized air in order to allow the thousands of pipes to speak their appropriate notes. In organ building, we call this winding the instrument. The Kotzschmar has 2 blowers, one a very large 25 horsepower blower that provides the majority of the wind for the instrument, with a second 1 horsepower blower which provides additional pressure for the 32-foot bombard and the tuba magna. Once the wind has been created by these blowers, it's sent through large metal ducts into the airbox of the organ.
We're about to enter the Austin Universal Wind Chest, also known as the lungs of the organ. This is a very unique design because you can enter the wind chest while the organ is playing. And here we are, inside the lungs of the Kotzschmar organ. This is the inside of the wind chest. It is 53 feet long, 6.5 feet wide, and 7 feet tall. This is directly below that forest of pipes that you saw earlier. So when you look up, you can see the complex mechanism that controls all of those pipes. Every single pipe is controlled by its own valve. So there are 5,000 actions directly above your head. This whole box is filled with pressurized air. That air needs to be maintained at a constant pressure. This wall, called a regulator wall, is what does that. It will move in and out to keep the pressure constant so that the organ sounds its best. Over here, we have the end of the wind line. This is where all of the wind comes in from that 25 horsepower blower. As well, we have the pneumatic actions that control the Venetian blinds or swell shades that allow the organist to control the volume of the organ. This is the most modern component of the Kotzschmar organ. This is the digital switching system. This is where all the signals from the console, from the organist's hands and feet, come in, get translated into action signals. That allows the organ to produce sound. There are many different kinds of pipes in the organ. However, there are 2 basic types, FLUEs and reeds. This is a FLUE pipe. The only moving portion of a FLUE pipe is the air that passes through it. Air enters through the toe, travels up, and exits through what we call the mouth. As the air exits, it will pass across the top of the pipe here and begin to vibrate, and that's what creates the sound. Reed pipes are a little bit more complicated. In reed pipes, there is a moving portion called the reed. It functions much like a saxophone or a clarinet in that the air will pass over the reed and vibrate the reed itself, producing a sound. Reed stops are often the most colorful stops in the organ. Another reason why there are so many pipes is that for every pitch, we need a single pipe. So for every key on the keyboard, there is a single pipe, and for every sound, there is another set of pipes. Some are very small, and some are very large. The largest pipe in the Kotzschmar organ is 32 feet long and weighs over 800 pounds. The smallest pipe is about the size of a pencil and weighs only a few ounces. Many people ask, how do you organize the sounds in an organ? Very simply, we put all the pipes with a similar sound, for example, a violin, into a rank. A rank is an orderly row of pipes set in progressive heights. The Kotzschmar organ has more than just ranks of pipes. It also has toys. These toys are tambourines, bells, whistles, car horns, drums. All of these kinds of percussion instruments help a single organist accompany a silent movie and still sound like a full orchestra.
Now that you've seen how the sounds are produced, let me show you how the console enables me to combine all of these sounds in infinite variety of ways to produce such wonderful music. The first thing people notice is that the console has 5 keyboards for the hands, called manuals, and a pedal board for the feet. There are 305 keys for my hands, 32 for the feet, and at the back of each of the keys is a tiny switch that, when depressed, sends a signal to the wind chest. When I press a key, nothing will happen until I pull out a stop. And if I'd like to change the stops quickly, these pistons will give me a variety of sounds. With just the press of my thumb. The vast array of pipes of this organ make an infinite number of sounds possible. Some are unique to the organ, like these principles. Then there are pipes that sound like flutes. Some pipes are built to imitate some woodwind instruments, like this clarinet, a little Gershwin, and then there are the pipes that sound like a full string orchestra. In addition to all the pipes, this organ is filled with fun stuff too. A common misconception is that by providing more wind to the pipe, it will get louder. However, every pipe is constructed so it can only make one sound at one volume level. So how do I make music get louder and softer? Organ builders have put the pipes in a large soundproof box with one wall being fitted with some Venetian blinds that open and close, letting the sound out when they're open and keeping the sound within the box when they're closed. To the listener, when the shades are open, it'll be louder and much quieter when they're closed. Check this out. Why are there so many keyboards? Well, an organ of this size, it is helpful to group those pipes into divisions, each with their own specialty. So the bottom manual, the orchestral, controls some of the quieter orchestral sounds like this beautiful flute. Or the French horn. Tambourine and snare drum. This manual, the Great, controls the most traditional sounds of the organ. Whereas the swell has the fire and brimstone. The solo division has all those diva stops, the loudest of the instrument. And in contrast, the antiphonal division on the fifth manual has some of the quietest sounds. The pedal division, controlled by my feet, often plays the lowest sounds of this instrument. It also can play a solo. Now I can use more than one division at a time, perhaps one as a solo and the other as accompaniment. Or to use an echo effect. And if I'd like to combine all the divisions, all the manuals together to get the full organ sound, I use the couplers. Listen.
We hope you've enjoyed listening to and learning about the Kotzschmar Organ. The Friends of the Kotzschmar Organ have a regular series of concerts, recitals, silent movies, and special events, after which we have in-person tours inside the instrument so that you can get up close and really see the magic.
So, on behalf of the City of Portland and the Friends of the Kotzschmar Organ, we hope that you will plan to visit us soon. See you then.